Before you take a left on Greenville Springs Road, you'll see it right there on the left. All of their services and savings, and you can schedule an appointment. Go to huntstire.com. All name brand tires, brakes, alignments, tune-ups, air filters, batteries, all changes, belts and hoses. You can even schedule an appointment, and they can bring you to work. That's how easy it is. Give them a call, 272-7404, 272-7404. All the guys over at Hunt's Tire Pros and Car Care, they got wives, they got daughters, they got family members. They got to make sure they get to work and on the road safe and sound where I go and where you need to go to. Hunt's Tire Pros and Car Care Center, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Visit them online. That is huntstire.com, 272-7404 to set up an appointment.
GatorWorks believes that your website should be the perfect full-time salesperson, one that always looks sharp, never says the wrong thing, and is always available. If your website isn't creating more leads for your business, what is it doing? Visit our salesperson at GatorWorks.net.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12682, offices in Baton Rouge. The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours, on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
From the Jamborees to the Superdome,
Your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 4 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy as we welcome you in as we reach about a quarter of the season, almost the halfway point. Very special show tonight. Very special show based on a very special guest, and we'll get to that in just a bit. Throughout the night, we're going to be recognizing Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And we have a very special guest who has battled that fight and is a cancer survivor and has a fantastic story. And we will be sharing some facts about childhood cancer. And we will also be honoring other athletes who have fought that fight and are back on the field and able to play some ball, join their team. A lot of great stories tonight. And I'll start on the sports side with recognizing two record-breaking performances. Shelton Sampson for Catholic High, who becomes Catholic High's all-time receiving yards leader, and Union Parish running back, LSU commit, Trey Holly, who's now eclipsed the record by former U High and LSU standout Nick Brissett for all-time rushing yards for a Louisiana high school football player. Congratulations.
Which is?
8,705.
You know, how many miles is that?
Shoot, I don't know.
Come on, man. What is that? You know how many miles are in a yard?
1,600? 1,600?
I have absolutely no idea.
1660.
I can Google it for y'all, but I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm going to try
1,660 yards, I'm saying.
You think?
I'm guessing.
1760.
Okay, that's close.
This moment of math is brought to you by Nicoterie Electric.
That's right.
Yeah, electric.
I got a central education. I can't help that.
So that's about 5 miles.
But, you know, these
5 miles I hadn't run in 10 years.
I mean, it's a big night for Trey, obviously. And, you know, Todd and I have known Nick Brissett since he was, probably in 6th grade. He didn't miss a game with his brother Mendel when we were coaching at Redemptor's. He was there every night. Ended up making a decision to go to U High when Redemptor's was about to close. A good decision. And the thing about Nick was he was always first class. And I think you talk to the people at LSU, he just got rehired by Coach Kelly over there. He's just a first-class individual. And I'm sure if I know Nick's proud of Trey right now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, records are made to be broken. And so congratulations to Trey. My big thing with Trey is coming into tonight, he was averaging 25 carries a game. And we may get to talk to Coach Spatafor from Union later tonight, but you wonder how much wear and tear it takes on a body when a high school kid's carrying it 25, 30 times a night.
Right.
Not right now, but down the road. It's okay if you want to carry it 40 times in a game, but you can't do it every single week. So
No, I think you got to be mindful of that. We've seen, and the names aren't coming to me, but the young man out of Riverside. There's another back.
was it Elijah Davis? Maybe?
Correct, yeah. So guys who are in that 20 to 30 range. I forget the young man a couple of years ago who was getting just an absurd amount of carries. And in high school, you got young legs. You can run.
Yeah.
But when you get to the next level, that's certainly
We've seen that firsthand.
I think
Leonard Fournette.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you keep guys down there around the 20 carry,
Right.
and then there's going to be games obviously where you go in on that Saturday morning meeting and you watch film and you start in the playoffs, and we did it with Jeremy Hill. We called him in after the week 10 and said, okay, we've babied you through 10 weeks.
Right.
You're fixing to carry it 30, 35, 40 times, whatever it takes. You're fixing to
As long as you do it our way.
Right.
That was lowering the shoulder, not going out of bounds.
Well, how many of these schools, and I don't know if this is the case, not having seen a lot of Union Parish games this year or Riverside or et cetera. I mean, there's good athletes on the field, but maybe that's your star power. And so you don't want to necessarily give them that, but if you're trying to win the game, it's got to be in his hands.
You're paid to win.
Yeah.
Those coaches are paid to win nowadays, so they do that. And look, their offense is that old-fashioned North Louisiana, West Monroe. You got Sterlington, you got Oak Grove, you got Union, West Monroe. All those teams run that option offense with the tailback back. So he's going to carry the football a lot of times. When you're the tailback in that type of formation,
Right.
You're going to carry the football. So hey, I'm not blaming Coach Spatafor. None, zero.
Remember we
But-
talked about the bell cow.
Yeah,
Yep.
the bell cow, but
But
it,
think
it
about
does take a toll.
that's 4 different offensive lines. It's not when you start thinking about what has to go right for someone to be able to do that, it's just not him.
Oh, for sure.
And they lost a lot up front last year. The competition they're playing Sterlingtons, they're playing, it's not, they'll play whoever he can.
And defenses are obviously aware. So it's him fighting.
They know
I'm sure
he's
they're
gonna get-
keying or they're adding extra up front, and he's having to fight through that. So, look, congratulations.
And they're the
on-
state
on
runner-up
this.
the last 2 years. And last year, arguably, he was the best defensive player on the field in their game also. I mean, kid's a player. There's no doubt.
As we mentioned at the start of the show, we have some very special guests tonight, and we'll get to that in just a bit. Also want to remind our audience joining us now on Your View, as well as the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. So throughout the night, you can see, if you're watching us through those video options, a full scoreboard at the ticker at the bottom of the screen. But right now, we'll highlight games from around the state through our regions, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard.
Cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Catholic High 49-28 winner over St. Thomas More. Broadmoor and St. Michael are still in progress. St. James and Assumption still in progress. St. John shuts out West St. Mary 41-0. Woodlawn comes back to beat Edie White 29-26. Central Private blanks Northeast 35-0. White Castle 38, Livonia 14, and Opelousas 28, Santa Maud 21.
The Acadiana Scoreboard. Pumped by Peak Performance.
Ruston over Lafayette Christian tonight 35-20. Acadiana is a 55-6 winner over Lafayette. Karen Crow shuts out Sulphur 43-0. Westgate all over St. Martinville 55-20. Southern Lab and Opelousas Catholic are still in progress. Turlings Catholic 38, Notre Dame 14. Iowa a 36-22 winner over Jennings, and Lakeshore over Washington Marion 31-8.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard.
Served by walk-ons.
St. Aug and Carl play tomorrow night. John Curtis 28, Jesuit 10. Destrehan a 41-3 winner over Hanville. De La Salle 27, St. Charles Catholic 14. Terrebonne a 22-17 winner over HL Bourgeois. Lutcher and Vanderbilt Catholic are still in progress. McDonough 35 shuts out West Jefferson 29-0. And Warren Easton and Booker T, New Orleans, still in progress.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe defeats Scotlandville 31-28. Alexandria Senior High 28, East Ascension 21, Logansport 52, Mansfield 8, Glenbrook 56, Haynesville 17, Mangum a 60-26 winner over General Trask, Manny 25, Newman 17, Neville 50, North Caddo 24, and Brother Martin and Ouachita still in progress.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Most of these games are still in progress. Ponchatoula, Covington, Fontainebleau, Hammond, Mandeville, North Shore, all still in progress. Slidell was a 21-7 winner over St. Paul. Live Oak and St. Helena still in progress. Laranger and St. Thomas Aquinas still in progress. Pearl River 46, Independent 14, and Hannon 21, North Lake Christian 7.
Thanks, Skip, for getting our scores tonight. If you're looking for them online, you can follow us on Twitter at Louisiana Prep. And as I mentioned throughout the night, if you're watching on YouTube, the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or on your view, you'll see that ticker at the bottom of the screen. That's a complete scoreboard from week 4 all around the state. Coach Black, I know you and your wife have been doing some excellent work leading into this show tonight because we have a very special guest we want to honor, and I'd like you to help us introduce.
You know, last year we were introduced to Avery at Dutchtown. I think it was Brock and I, and she was the guest of honor. You did the coin flip, right? And yeah, we're going. There you go. Don't be shy now. You got a nice voice, right?
Yes, sir.
So, so it's been. When were you first? Tell the people when you were first diagnosed, what you were diagnosed with, and how you are today.
I was first diagnosed August 14th of 2021. I was diagnosed with Wilms tumor, and
Keep going. You can keep going.
You're going.
what was the third question?
So yeah, I asked you a lot, didn't I? And so, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
You just had a checkup,
Yes, sir.
6 months checkup.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to ask you a few questions through the first couple of segments, and the first one is when you first found out you had cancer. What did you think?
It was a lot going through my mind. I didn't really process it until I got him into the hospital.
Mhm.
I didn't really think much of it until, like, my mom actually told me what was happening. There's just a lot going through my mind.
How was it initially detected? You
It
started
was-
just feeling bad?
Yes, sir. I think it was the day before school when I started getting a headache. And I had to miss the first day of school, and it kind of just got progressively worse after that. And then we went to the ER, and we figured out it was a mass on my kidney.
Well, I tell you what, throughout the night, what we're going to do is I think there's a lot of unknowns about childhood cancer, and we hope to kind of educate our audience a little bit tonight, as well as honor Avery, who was here. And I think it's very awesome that you are here. We appreciate it. So throughout the night, our job, hopefully, is to educate our audience a little bit, make them a little bit more aware. And if you follow us on Twitter, more so 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. So we sent out a link for the show tonight that includes a link to our YouTube page. And we have a link to St. Jude. So if you
great.
listening tonight want to make a donation to a place that is, I'm told, outstanding when it comes to care and the personal, not only the care for the patients, but look, it's the families, mom, dad, brother, sister. So that link is on Twitter at 104.5 ESPN, our Twitter account.
And so, to expand this a little bit further, I'm telling Jimmy about what our plans are, and we're going to Central and East Jefferson because that's where Avery's dad was being the official.
Right.
And he calls me with, something else to add to the story, and we'll talk to Coach Sid at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah, our student athlete of the week, sponsored by State Farms. When Todd initially called me about it, and I called Coach Sid to go to their game, and we were talking about a student athlete of the week, he called me back after talking to him for 30 minutes, and he mentioned Jackson Griffin, who had a tumor in his hip that they had found as a sophomore, had to have his leg amputated at the hip, and he was cleared to play by the LHSAA yesterday, and got a video of him getting into the game tonight. So we're going to feature him as our student athlete. It's just two truly incredible stories. It's the worst type of news that you can get, honestly, as a parent. It's one you dread, but I can tell by Avery, I can tell by Jackson how they overcome it. The best thing I can see right now is a pretty smile on her face.
And her voice.
And their attitude and their attitude and the way they handle it. You see why they were successful and able to beat it.
Well, and Jackson, to his credit, they were talking about, Coach Sid told us he's shy, he may not say much. We're like, Coach, he wanted to be interviewed. Yeah. And the things he said really hit home.
So, look, as we go to break, we will present, as I mentioned throughout the night, some information on childhood cancer. And September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So, as we end the break here on this Week 4 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, we'll give you our Childhood Cancer Awareness Month fact number 1.
Childhood cancer is the #1 disease killer of children in the U.S.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing.
I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 4 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. We'll have more with our special guest, Avery Jobe, here in just a couple of minutes. But let's get you caught up on scores from around the state, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Catholic High 49, St. Thomas More 28, Broadmoor and St. Michael still in progress. St. James a 33-7 winner over Assumption. St. John of Plaquemine 41, West St. Mary 0, Woodlawn 29, Edie White 26, Central Private shuts out Northeast 35-0, White Castle 38, Livonia 14, and Opelousas 28, Santa Maria 21.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Ruston a 35-20 winner over Lafayette Christian. Acadiana all over Lafayette 55-6. Carencro shuts out Sulphur 43-0. Westgate 55, St. Martinville 20. Southern Lab and Opelousas Catholic still in progress. Turlings a 38-14 winner over Notre Dame. Iowa 36, Jennings 22. And Lakeshore 31, Washington Marion 8.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Aug and Carr will be played tomorrow night. John Curtis 28, Jesuit 10. Destrehan 41-3 winner over Hanville. De La Salle 27, St. Charles Catholic 14. Terrebonne 22, H.L. Bourgeois 17. Vanderbilt Catholic and Lutcher still in progress. McDonald 35-29, West Jefferson 0, and Warren Easton and Booker T. Washington, New Orleans still in progress.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe 31-28 winner over Scotlandville. Alexandria Senior High 28-21 winner over East Ascension. Logansport all over Mansfield 52-8. Glenbrook 56, Haynesville 17. Mangum a 60-26 winner over General Trask. Manny 25, Newman 17. Neville 50, North Caddo 24. And Brother Martin 38, Ouachita 20.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington over Ponchatoula 12-7. Hammond 28, Fontainebleau 21. Mandeville 41, North Shore 20. Slidell 21-7 winner over St. Paul. Live Oak all over St. Helena 43-8. Laranger tops St. Thomas Aquinas 19-14. Pearl River 46, Independence 14, and Archbishop Hannon 21, North Lake Christian 7.
Thank you, Skip. And as we mentioned throughout the night, you can find scores at Louisiana Prep on Twitter, or if you're watching on YouTube or your view at the bottom of the screen, we've got that ticker that'll bring you scores from around the state, full scoreboard here from Week 4. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy as we continue with our special guest this evening. It is Avery Jobe. We have Dad with us as well, Coach Black. And, you know, we talk about, you know, recognizing September as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And, you know, Dad, it's a process, I think, that certainly what I was thinking kind of coming into tonight's show is I feel like these situations really make you live in the moment. You appreciate like what's going on right now, and celebrate those. And not to say that we ever don't do that, but I guess over the course of time, I'm sure y'all found ways to really appreciate things each and every day.
Absolutely. It puts more of a focus. It makes you focus a little bit more on within that moment and all. You kind of step back and see the big picture more so than if you would, just day-to-day life, work, and going, then all of a sudden life stops. And it's a refocus period.
Cade, researchers estimate that 51% of moms and 40% of dads who have a child with cancer meet the criteria for acute stress disorder within 2 weeks of the cancer diagnosis. So it affects, the whole family. So Avery, what was the scariest part? We hear a lot about chemotherapy for people who haven't been through your journey. What was the scariest part about chemotherapy and surgery?
It was for chemotherapy. It was probably the first round of chemo. Especially, you'll probably get sick after the first round of chemo, and you really don't know what's going to happen afterwards. And for surgery, it's just a big experience that you will always remember. But it's not really always the worst thing. It's something to help you and treat you to get you well.
And Matt, first off, thank you for being an official in Baton Rouge area. Been a long time.
You've yelled at him a couple times.
Probably have.
So have you.
I do think I remember that.
But seriously, it's a job that's underappreciated, so we definitely want to thank you for that. But as a parent, what's your scariest time?
There were many along the way, but of course the first phone call is the one that stands out in my mind. Avery was diagnosed on a Sunday night, like you said before, the day before school. And when you get that call from your wife, you were going just to get a checkup and a little bit of fever. Time stood still for quite a while. And then from there, the diagnosis with the tumor, it's scary.
I know we're going to let Avery go. I think she may hang around for one more segment. She's welcome to hang around as long as she wants. But both of you, before we let you go, in case she decides to go, she got a softball tournament tomorrow in Lafayette. So that's great news. St. Jude, what does it mean to you? Talk about how great they are.
Oh, it's almost, it's really indescribable. The things that they do, the capability that they have, anything you need is within your reach. For Avery, for your family, for Avery's brother, Landry. Of course, it was during COVID, so he could not be there to see what was going on. But if he needed something, St. Jude was there for it.
So, Avery, got to ask you this. If someone was going through what you went through, what advice would you like to give them?
If you're going through the same thing a lot of kids go through, I'd recommend you don't freak out. It's the worst thing you could do. And it just takes time. It takes time to really heal, and it takes time.
I'll tell you what, Avery, I think you're proof that,
yes.
A good attitude and a lot of, look, we talked about with St. Jude, I think so much goes into not only necessarily the treatment, but the care that they do. But seeing you here today, I think is proof that you can fight and you can, get on the other side and see some sense of normalcy. And there's not many words I can say, but it's incredible to have you here today and have Dad here today. It means so much to us, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We want to still continue to honor, as we mentioned, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and we will continue with the facts about childhood cancer, narrated by our own correspondent to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, Avery Jobe. So we continue with this. This is cut number 3, Alondra, as we head into break, and this is the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Every day, 47 kids are diagnosed with cancer in the U.S.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at Revelry.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. ESPN's YouTube channel, ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube channel, and your view. We go ahead and jump on the Cardinal Financial Hotline and join a victorious head coach, Sid Edwards, as the Wildcats get the win tonight over East Jeff. Coach Edwards, thanks so much for a couple minutes with us tonight. It's good to hear from you.
Oh, same to you guys. Appreciate y'all, man.
Sid, I know it's early in the season, but going into this after the last couple of weeks, did you consider this a must-win?
I just told my OC, I was walking in the deal, and I said, this was the biggest must-win for us in the last decade here. We went down to Westville. They got a good football team, and, we get down to the half-yard line and don't make it happen, and we lose 21-20, and then it was an aberration. I mean, last Friday, Slidell's got a good club, but Jesus, it was it was a nightmare, and a lot of inexperience on this team. And yes, a simple deal would be absolutely.
Sid, you got a quick start like you needed to. When you're struggling, the last thing you want to have to do is sit there and come from behind. You got 16 right off the bat. You got a touchdown, you got a safety, and then a touchdown to create a little bit of distance. I thought that was really key to the game because in the first half, at least when I left, it was 37-21. You shut them out in the second half. But East Jefferson, they didn't have a lot of quit in them in that first half.
And you got to be happy with your quarterback, Jackson Furman, as well.
Yes.
Very much happy with Jackson. I thought he played with a tremendous amount of poise, and that's what we were looking for. You know, he ran the offense. He was a leader out there, and he had a really great night. And you're right, Jimmy. I mean, jumping up 16-0 quick, it stayed at that 16 forever. East Jeff would answer, because then we got into a, hey, they score, we score deal. So when we came out of halftime and we scored within the first 20 seconds of the half to go up 3 scores. They proceeded to drive down to inside our 4, and we held them. And I felt that's where the ball game was. And so, yeah, big win for the Wildcats tonight.
I think another key point, at least I didn't see one, I don't think you had a turnover in the first half, and you're averaging about 4 or 5 a game going into it.
We did not have a turnover in the game, and we've had 15 in the last 10 quarters of football. And they kind of tell you what that meant. You know, you through week 3, you've had 10 in you know, that few quarters. Last year, 15. I mean, last year we had 8 on the year. You know, so yeah, that's huge. I mean, you know, we're not good enough to help somebody else out. That's for sure.
Coach, before we get to Jackson Griffin, East Jefferson's head coach Angel Cardona, just a class act.
100%. It's the first time I met Coach, but you know, we talked about the situation we had, you know, with Jackson Griffin and what we were doing here and how we were doing it. And he was all on board. And I came away impressed with him as a human being, but equally impressed with him as a football coach with his unit. They got a good football team. And they got some players, and they're disciplined. And so I'm very impressed with that gentleman.
Well, see, look, thank you for in between the first and second quarter. That was really cool to honor Avery and to honor Jackson for their childhood pediatric cancer, and also thank you and East Jefferson for wearing the gold stickers that we provided for you guys. It's just any bit of awareness, and you know it more than anyone in some of your situations, any kind of awareness we can help with, that's just huge. But let's talk a little bit about Jackson Griffin, our student athlete of the week. Overcome cancers, found out 2 years ago as a sophomore, had to have his leg amputated at the hip. We'll be putting his picture up here shortly. Finally got approval from the LHSAA yesterday. He's still getting scans every 6 months, but he got on the field tonight, Coach, for the first time. Tell us about Jackson.
Yeah, it put a lump in my throat, you know, because we've dabbled a little bit with him being a holder, you know, is what he wanted to do, and that still may happen, you know. But when you get into a football game, and you know that's a precarious place to be, holding. You know, people are coming trying to block the kick, right?
Right.
So, but we let him know at lunchtime today that, hey, you're going to enter the game. And I could see the goosebumps jumping all over him. You know, he was nervous. I tell you what, he leaves the state in eye black. If you noticed, I mean, he was so fired up. He it was all over his glasses. God dog it. But he, you know, we had planned on getting him, you know, in a game, and it just did my heart good that it got to happen. Just how God is something. I mean, Jimmy, you called me about with this being the game of the week, and if you remember, I asked you, man, what's going on there? Ain't nobody else, you know. So, but you know, it was a special game with Avery Job and all that, and that's God. That's God's hand, you know, on Avery and Jackson's health, as well as the awareness and what happened, you know, on that field tonight, that's magical.
Yes.
We all love to win the football game, right? We all, I mean, win state titles, district titles. But, man, I'll use the words of Coach Cordona at East Jeff. Hey, it's so much more than that. And that tonight, you know, proved that. And that boy being able to get on that football field, I mean, my God, what it meant to him and his family is something else.
Well, Sid, we can't appreciate you enough, and thank you for everything you did tonight, and congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you. You the guys that make it happen, and y'all make it happen every week, and y'all are you need to be recognized. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Sid.
All right. Bye-bye.
Look, I can tell you it was a first-class act. They brought Avery out there, her family, brought Jackson out there, and that's something they didn't have to do. But Sid gets it. He gets it. And, you know, when he called me about it, about honoring Jackson tonight, I'm like, yes, that's a no-brainer. You know, I mean, it just fit in perfect. And again, East Jefferson was first class with it also.
But I think it goes to show you that certain coaches fall into a different category. Coach Edwards is all about what he does for the right reasons. Go back to last year with South Lafourche and what they did honoring those. Every time there's something going on where there's, not to say other coaches don't, but when there's something recognized bigger than what's going on the field, there's a theme, and it's Coach Edwards who recognizes that and instills what he's teaching to those men on the field.
Coach Avery, I was about to say that. I'll say it, Coach Avery. When you see the support from your family, your friends, and your community as you did tonight, how does that make you feel?
It's amazing. It's really amazing that how all these people know about my story and how they support other kids like me, and it's really helpful to other kids who are battling through cancer, and it's just a great way to remind them that you're not alone in the fight.
It was a special moment. I know you, Todd, had left a little bit earlier, but it really was.
I was sweating.
Out of shape, didn't hydrate enough.
I'm trying to get all the action, and I think I'm videoing nothing.
Yeah. Great night.
It's been a great night so far, and we will continue to recognize Childhood Cancer Awareness Month with our facts throughout the night. That's been narrated by our own Coach Avery. And before we head to break, once again, Avery, we really appreciate your time here tonight. It is awesome to have you in studio. All right. As we head to break, as we mentioned, we are continuing to put out some of those childhood cancer awareness facts. And this one is cut 4, narrated, as we mentioned, by our own correspondent, Coach Avery, as we head to break here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
Since 1980, only 4 drugs have been approved for the use in pediatric cancer.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 4 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Running down some coaches to speak with here, as victorious as they are, and looking to effort a couple of them. So we are going to do that in just a bit. But in the meantime, we'll get you caught up on scores, and we'll start first here in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Catholic High over St. Thomas More, 49-28. St. Michael blanks Broadmoor, 62-0. St. James, a 33-7 winner over Assumption. St. John shuts out West St. Mary, 41-0. Woodlawn comes back to beat Edie White, 29-26. Central Private blanks Northeast, 35-0. White Castle 38, Livonia 14, and Opelousas 28, Santa Maria 21.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Ruston over Lafayette Christian 35-20. Acadiana all over Lafayette 55-6. Karen Crow shuts out Sulphur 43-0. Westgate 55, St. Martinville 20. Southern Lab and Opelousas Catholic still in progress. Sterling's Catholic 38, Notre Dame 14, Iowa 36, Jennings 22, and Lakeshore 31, Washington Marion 8.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Aug and Cars tomorrow night, John Curtis 28, Jesuit 10, Destrehan 41, Hanville 3, De La Salle 27-14 winner over St. Charles. Terrebonne, a 22-17 winner over H.L. Bourgeois. Lutcher all over Vanderbilt Catholic, 42-7. McDonough 35-29, West Jefferson 0. And Warren Easton 56, Booker T 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe over Scotlandville 31-28. Alexandria Senior High 28, East Ascension 21. Logansport 52-8 winner over Mansfield. Glenbrook 56, Haynesville 17. Mangum 60-26 winner over General Trask. Manny 25, Newman 17. Neville 50, North Caddo 24, and Brother Martin 38, Ouachita 20.
The North Shore Scoreboard. Restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington 12-7 winner over Ponchatoula. Hammond 28, Fountain Blue 21. Mandeville 41-20 winner over North Shore. Slidell 21, St. Paul 7. Live Oak 43, St. Helena 8. La Rancher a 19-14 winner over St. Thomas Aquinas. Pearl River 46, Independence 14. And Archbishop Hannon 21, North Lake Christian 7.
Thank you, Skip. And you can find our scores tonight as well on Twitter at Louisiana Prep. And if you're watching on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel and your view, you'll see the full ticker at the bottom of the screen that'll have a complete scoreboard from week 4 from around the state.
Jimmy Cade, North Side, not West Side, and McKinley. Guess why they got suspended?
Fighting. Imagine that. Slaughter.
Left the bench. Left the benches. I think you ought to suspend both of them. I mean, he's
everybody left the bench is suspended. I think it's the rule. Slaughter had the lead. Not Slaughter. Springfield had the leading rusher in the local area. They lose tonight to Slaughter. Slaughter goes to 4-0, 44-6, I think it was, something like that, or 44-16. But the leading rusher, he's ejected in the game also. So it's every weekend. It's got to stop.
But this is why we talked about in that Jamboree week, why you don't get passion confused with some type of aggression. It's going to hurt you down the road, and it hurt some teams today. Ruston over LCA.
Big win. Look, LCA jumped up 14-7 at half. Ruston had turned it over 3 times in the first half. It was all Ruston in the second half. They recovered back-to-back onside kicks. LCA ran 3 plays in the third quarter. Maybe had 3 minutes of possession in the second half. They ran 3 plays. They ran power, duo, and counter. And that's it. And we worried.
Explain duo since you said it.
And we ran, just like, and when we worried about that, how that game would go, right? So my biggest concern was LCA playing zero coverage, bringing an extra guy into the box, and daring Ruston to throw the football. And Jaden Osborne is, I think, his second or third year, so at least the second. I think he played a lot at sophomore year anyway. So dare him to throw the football, beat some matchups one-on-one. And Ruston didn't have to do it. And if you go back to Ruston,
probably went too tight.
You go back to Ruston's one loss was to Warren Easton, I think 25-19, if my memory's right on that. And they lost Dyson Fields, their running back, who had over 2,200 yards last year. He lost him after their first scoring possession. So if you have him in there, instead of being 3-1 now, there's a very good possibility they would be 4-0 right now. But I just think that's a big win for Ruston to go on the road. They've played that brutal schedule. They win. Got a win over Jesuit. They won on the last play of the game last week with a field goal. And, I mean, it's just Coach Ball's got it going on. We've tried to get in touch with him. We hadn't been able to catch him on the bus right now. But that's a big win for Ruston to go to LCA.
Combined, who are the teams on both of those schedules between LCA and Ruston? It's got to be massive.
Let's see. LCA's played Acadiana, Jesuit, Woodlawn, and Ruston. Ruston has played Warren Easton,
Jesuit,
LCA, and Cabot, Arkansas. I mean, both of them played brutal schedules, and they have survived them.
Just about a minute to go before we get to our top of the hour break. Seeing in Acadiana just for a second. Westgate remains undefeated on the season with a win tonight over St. Martinville. Turlings with a nice win over Notre Dame.
Oh, Turlings win. That's their second win in a row. They put up 38 points. They had a few turnovers from Notre Dame, which Notre Dame does not like to throw the ball. Louis Cook's coach team is as good of a team and as sound fundamentally as you will ever play. But Dane Charpentier and those guys, they're known for their offense with Kentrell Prejean and Preston Welch, their quarterback. They're known for their offense, but this is one of Turlings' better defensive teams ever.
Go Preps is a very good, obviously, high school website to go. Hunter Bauer just texted me, Airline beat Benton 75, 59, 1,248 yards of total offense between the two.
That's hard to do on 7-on-7.
And then Carroll pulls off a big one up in Monroe over Sterlington. We'll talk to Jess Curtis of Manny.
They're going to have trouble putting the lights on if you're Coach Lee Doty after a couple of losses, man.
Yeah, boy.
Some
1 and
schools
3.
have elevators.
They're 1 and 3.
Some don't. All right, we'll take a timeout, and when we return, another full hour of the Week 4 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. It's right here on YouTube. Your view at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome back. It's hour 2 of the Week 4 edition. Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy. We got Skip, we got Alondra. We got Taylor behind the scenes helping get all the scores in. If you miss anything tonight from what you hear on our scoreboards, we've got a full scoreboard on the bottom of the screen. It's our ticker. You can catch it at your view and the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and jump back on the Cardinal Financial Hotline, where a victorious head coach, Jess Curtis, joins us from Manny as they get the win tonight over Newman, 25-17. Coach, congratulations on this win. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Scoreboard Show.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Coach, last year when you lost a tough one in the Superdome, I tweeted, "Don't worry, Manny will be back." 4 weeks into it, guys, I mean, you guys are playing really well, and you held a very good quarterback. I think, if I read correctly, 8 for 20 for 80 yards, but you have to be really happy with your team on both sides of the ball.
Man, I'm telling you, it was a great performance defensively to be able to hold Arch Manning to what we did. We felt good coming in the game, returning the group of guys that we did defensively. We returned 10 guys. They've been starting since the 2020 championship team, and just really challenged them this week. We had a good game plan. We wanted to pressure him and try to smother his receivers, and it worked pretty good for us. And we were able to make one more play than they did.
Coach, not to take anything away from what Manny did tonight, but Will Randall being out for Newman, how much did that change Newman's attack, so to speak?
Well, yeah, Randall is unbelievable. One of the best players I've seen on film in my career. Just a tremendous football player. But coming in, we didn't know where they were going to go. And they did some different things and kind of caught us a couple of times with some things that we didn't see on film. And that's football, and that's what Nelson Stewart coach teams are going to do. But just a really good Newman team, though. I mean, just really well coached. They had a good plan. Arch is worth of every star he has. I mean, you talk about putting the ball where it needs to be on time. When we got tired in the second quarter, he carved us up pretty good that quarter, and it was just a great game, a great high school football game. We just really enjoyed Newman and how they carried themselves, their fans, and it was just a great atmosphere for high school football tonight.
So, Coach, that's what I was going to ask. I, for one, know the passion of the Manny fans, and is it true that your stadium was full or standing room only at 5?
It was. I mean, it's crazy. We had a walkthrough on Thursday, and people were pulling the pits up to tailgate, and the pits were lit at 7 this morning, and people were bringing their chairs and making sure their seats were ready for the night. It was just, we came out of, we always take the kids over for a pregame meal and then kind of lay them down for a couple hours, and we came back over across the facility, and it was just, gosh, bumper to bumper. And we've had some huge games here, semifinals that have gotten us to the Superdome, but I mean, it was like a state championship game, and I think that's why me and Nelson tried to put it together. No trophy was awarded tonight, but yet it got us both better because we were both tested big time by different moments in this game.
Coach, you mentioned returning 10 guys, especially on the defensive side, and everybody who follows high school football or high school recruiting knows about Tackett Curtis, one of the top players in the state.
Right.
But you also have some special juniors in Jeremiah James, the Singleton kid as a DB. He's probably maybe the top-rated junior kid in the class, and then I think his name's Cryer, is a big, like 6'6",
Big Joseph Cryer,
yeah, 280 junior tackle also. So it's not just this senior class. You've been able to establish a program year in, year out.
Yes, sir. I have a really big junior class, probably with 32, 33 kids. Swayze Carhill played big in that defensive end. So yeah, the cupboard won't be bare after this year. It's a senior, junior-laden team. But, I was just glad to have this kind of stage so those kids could get out there and be seen. Tylen was going to cover Randall, and that was going to be a mega matchup, putting Tylen Singleton, who's the number one player in Louisiana in 2024, on Randall. So he kind of had to play an unselfish role tonight, and I was proud of him. He played big. He had some big pressures. When we sent some pressure, sent him on some blitzes off the edge.
Big question, did you throw your 5th pass of the night this year?
We did. We did. We actually did the first play. And we just missed it. We can actually spin it a little bit. It's just, the kids just enjoy it. It's our mindset. We're bought in hook, line, and sinker on just coming off the football and trying to grab people by the belt buckle and play football. It's play physical.
So let me ask you. I'm sorry, finish up. Yeah. So I want to ask you this real quick. So you have an opportunity to put the game away. And if I'm understanding correctly, I think your offense may have got it with about 5.5 minutes left. You drive it down to the 1. I'm an O-line guy, so I feel you. I understand. You want it for your O-line, but it's just such a big drive at that time of the game if you can finish it. Newman made a play, but they had to go 99 yards in 1:16. But was there any thought of a field goal, or you were like, no, we got to finish it?
Yes, I actually sent the field goal team out there, and it was on the right hash on about the 1 foot yard. I mean 1 foot, and it's a kind of a bad angle.
Right.
I just got out there and kind of looked at it as a timeout. I called the offense back out and said, look, we're going to die with our boots on. We talked about being man-made and tough and physical. If you can't get a foot, maybe we don't deserve it. And, Newman being the caliber team they are, and they wanted this game. They came out and low man won, and they got one more shot. We got to put the ball in the hands of the number one player in the country and had to stop it. And so, everybody was on their feet. It was great football, man.
Well, Coach, sounds like an awesome atmosphere, a great win for your team and for that community. We appreciate your time tonight, and congratulations once again on the win.
Appreciate you guys. Again, thanks for what you do for, Louisiana high school football. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach Curtis. Congratulations.
I told him earlier today, I said, if there was ever a time anybody wanted to rob Manny, tonight would have been it, because there was nobody at home.
Well, they have historically, they shoot the fireworks and everything's nice and stuff. They put on a show before the game. But in a small town community, that's what high school football is about.
Yeah, it
when
is.
you get down to it, because everybody's going. The grandparents of kids who played 20 years ago, they're still going to go out there, and that's what it's about.
So the decision not to go for the field goal, not so much turning it back over in the position they turned it over in anyway by going for it. You're worried about a deflection or something getting out of hand where you're going to pick it up and
so the
other way?
angle to it. When you're on the yard line opposed to the 3.5 on the hash, it's just not an angle you practice. It's difficult. There's no guarantee opposed to it being in the middle of the field.
And also, you got to go back and look at how the tempo of the game has gone. Has there been 40 points scored in the second half, or has their defense held for pretty much the second half, which they had held Newman to 17 points? You also got to remember they got to go 99.5 yards without their Arch Manning's their best player, but their best weapon on offense other than that is Will Randall, who tore his ACL and is out for the year. He's also a Texas commit. He's their best player on offense and defense other than Arch Manning. So the odds of them going 99.5 yards in a minute with I don't know how many timeouts, you can almost bet they didn't have all three of them because they were probably burning them to stop the clock at the end of the game. Is slim and none. So put it in their hands. They're built to get 3 yards of play. You got a half yard. He's going to trust his guys to go. I don't have any problem with that.
I don't either. I was just getting nervous that Tackett Curtis might steal my handoff record.
Still well
he threw
intact.
It one time tonight.
Of all the records that were broken, that one was not tonight. We'll take time out in just a bit. Before we do, let's get you caught up on scores, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Calicut Baton Rouge 49, St. Thomas More 28, St. Michael Blanks Broadmoor 62-0, St. James 33, Assumption 7, St. John of Plaquemine 41, West St. Mary 0, Woodlawn, a 29-26 winner over Edie White. Central Private blinks Northeast 35-0. White Castle 38, Livonia 14. Opelousas 28, Santa Maria 21.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Ruston 35, Lafayette Christian 20. Acadiana all over Lafayette 55-6. Carencro shuts out Sulphur 43-0. Westgate 55, St. Martinville 20. Southern Lab 34, Opelousas Catholic 20. Turlings Catholic 38, Notre Dame 14. Iowa 36, Jennings 22. And Lakeshore 31, Washington Marion 8.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Augustine Cars Saturday night. John Curtis 28, Jesuit 10. Destrehan 41, Hanville 3. De La Salle 27, St. Charles Catholic 14. Terrebonne 22, HL Bourgeois 17. Lutcher 42, Vanderbilt Catholic 7. McDonald 35, 29, West Jefferson 0. And Warren Easton 56, Booker T. Washington 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe 31, Scotlandville 28. Alexandria Senior High 28, East Ascension 21. Logansport 52, Mansfield 8. Glenbrook 56, Haynesville 17. Mangum defeats General Trask 60-26. Manny 25, Newman 17. Neville 50, North Caddo 24. And Brother Martin 38, Ouachita 20.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington 12, Ponchatoula 7. Hammond 28-21 winner over Fontainebleau. Mandeville 41, North Shore 20. Slidell 21-7 winner over St. Paul. Live Oak 43, St. Helena 8. Loranger 19, St. Thomas Aquinas 14. Pearl River 46, Independence 14. Archbishop Hannon 21, North Lake Christian 7.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening. with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your view and the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy as we continue to recap Week 4 tonight. A game you heard right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Catholic High getting the win tonight over St. Thomas More, a game that was tied for a good bit of the ball game. Catholic High pulled away a little late and come away victorious.
STM was actually up 28-21 at the half. Catholic High comes back in the second half and puts up 28 unanswered points. Shelton Sampson, like you mentioned earlier in the showcase, set the school record with over 1,750 yards in his career. Barry Remo had a big night, 4 touchdowns for those guys. St. Thomas More come in averaging like 44 points a game. It's their 4th straight 5A opponent. They've been battle-tested. They've been very balanced on offense. That was a concern going in as to how Catholic would defend it, because Catholic has struggled some defensively. They did in the first half. They must have made some adjustments at halftime.
We've seen them do that this season, where second half they've played a lot better defensively. The offense has come alive, and they've found ways to win in those situations.
Yeah. You look at their offense coming into it, they were 629 passing and 570 rushing. So really balanced, playing 2 quarterbacks, have a couple good running backs. But I thought this was a really good win for Catholic. Now, St. Thomas More will host Denham Springs next week, which is also 4-0, and I think that's a really good test for Coach Beard and his group.
So we had Coach Valera on Sunday, and he was under Coach Hightower and just, raved about him. But speaking of, Catholic Point Capee won, I think it's 58-16 maybe over. But I just wanted to, point that out, that so many people say so many good things about Coach Hightower at St. Thomas More. So
450 wins.
450 wins.
Edie White, Woodlawn, Kate, I thought was a really good local game. Also, Woodlawn comes away with 29-6 win. That's back-to-back wins for Woodlawn.
Wait. It wasn't 29-6. What was
29-26.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
They're back to 500. Edie White coming in was 3-0, ranked number 1 in 3A to the runner-ups last year in Division. What they in Division 2.
When's the last time they gave up that many points?
Well, heck, they'd only given up 6 all year.
Mm-hmm.
They were up 20-7, and I think it was at halftime, if I'm not mistaken. And Edie White also missed a field goal. From what I could tell on the video, it looked to be about 42 yards on the final play of the game. But this is a big win for Marcus Rand and his guys.
They've been really struggling up front, and we know that. And Edie White's very disciplined. They're going to be in the right spot, and it looks like that Woodlawn just made some plays.
Yeah, that's a win you can brag about, considering the defense of Edie White.
I think Ricky Collins had, 3 turnovers in the first half. So credit for Woodlawn to play in the full game.
And Ricky Collins to be able to put that behind
put it behind him, come back, right.
Early week 4 action last night, and I'll bring up this video, Taylor, for us to kind of watch. But Dunham gets the win over Ascension Catholic, 20-19. But it wasn't so sure late in the ball game, just under 2 minutes to go in that fourth quarter, Todd.
Thanks to Dunham Sports Network. Give them their courtesy because that's where we pulled this from. So you'll see that, Jimmy, they had things under control. Great game, 20-13, late into the fourth. So Dunham has to punt. High snap, rolls all the way back to about the 13-yard line, 14-yard line. Then you see that Leonard makes a play coming up. I can't remember the receiver. They get down to the 3 or 4.
Probably his brother, Brooks.
And then they score. And then then after that, they go for 2. They tried to pull the old Boise State. That was a good play. That was our player of the week, Colin Bolt.
Yep.
And then, so there's a touchdown. The 2-point conversion's coming up. Old Boise State back in the day.
Except they ran it up the middle, right?
Boom. Nope.
Yep.
You couldn't get out there. And then they tried to kick the onside kick.
Looked like he kind of hesitated, like he was going to try to take the edge. And
so it was a big win. Ascension Catholic was undefeated coming into that. And here's the onside kick.
Good bounce.
Yep. They were actually offside the first time.
I thought these teams were evenly matched coming in. They're two really good teams. They're really well coached. I thought you got 2 good quarterbacks in Bryce Leonard and Jackson House. House had a good night rushing and passing. Dunham's defense was really, really stout. They held Ascension Catholic to 21 yards rushing. They sacked Leonard 5 times. They got 2 interceptions from their linebacker, Sion Albert, and 1 interception from Bronson Bonival. So hats off to Caleb Linedecker, Benny Logan, Randy Linedecker on the defensive side, as well as offense also. But very, very good night when you can hold that high-powered offense down. Good night.
Want to talk about another quarterback real quick. St. Michael is even their record at 2-2. Knocked off Broadmoor quarterback Dalton Raffini. Good game through the air as well as on the ground, and St. Michael dominated that. Zach Leger is now 2-2 this year.
Madison Prep with a big win last night over Parkview. Handing Parkview their first loss. Madison Prep moves to 2-2, 26-7 win. That was a district opener for both of those teams. Madison Prep coming off of that loss to Scotlandville. Tylen Johnson had a good night. Quarterback, 17-30, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns and 43 rushes. Madison Prep's record, 3A team, again, a little misleading. They're 2-2, so they are 2-2, but their losses are to Brother Martin and Scotlandville. 2 really good teams. Over on the Lafayette area, Acadiana and Lafayette. Acadiana won 55-6. Lafayette was 3-0, so both teams are now 3-1. 15-year win streak for Acadiana over Lafayette. Big plays. First play of the game, Acadiana hits a hook and ladder for 80 yards for a touchdown. One thing, they also had touchdowns of 38, 69, 59, and 80. Acadiana come out throwing the football a little bit. For them to throw it 7 times in one game, threw it for 215 yards on 4 completions. So when you're able to do that, when you're running that veer, it's potent because it gives you something else that you have to think about. You can't sell out to the run.
We talked about Opelousas last week.
Yeah.
We were wondering, they come over here, they beat Santa Maria 28-21. Santa Maria's been a little banged up. However, Opelousas is not a pushover, and they come out and win that one 28-21, which kind of surprised us.
Well, and didn't realize until you brought it up Sunday, I think it was, Santa Maria is on their 3rd quarterback.
Yes.
When you start moving down there, you're going to have some type of drop-off. But Coach Aller and those guys, they do a good job. They're just going through a rough time right now. Hopefully they'll get some of those guys back.
Well, one of them's a broken leg and the other's a shoulder injury, so that's promising. Yep.
Okay. Well, hey.
Best of luck to those kids, though, by the way.
Well, here's what you got to do, just like Coach Valley told us a few weeks ago. Find out what that kid does well. I talked to Coach Brewerton this week about Eli Holstein. They have 2 weeks to get ready for the Spangler kid to play. You can't ask him to do what Eli Holstein does.
Right.
Go ask him to do what he can do. You figure it out. I don't care if you cut your offense in half, in thirds, or redo the whole thing. Find out what he does well, and then let the chips fall where they may.
We just don't disagree on that. Now, if we did, it'd be a great argument, but I can't disagree with anything you just said.
One more, K, last night up north. Bird beat Shreveport 25-20. Bird moves
Captain
to
Shreve.
Captain Shreve. Bird moves to 4-0. Penalty marred game, 23 penalties, combined 269 yards. Bird jumped to a 17-0 halftime lead. Got a field goal of 49 yards from Miami commit Abram Murray. High school kids kicking 49 yards is pretty impressive. Captain Shreve got back in the game in the second half, had a shot to win it at the end. Bird got to stop. Bird quarterback Lagan Lambert. He was injured some last year. He's been a 3-year starter, but he's 21-2 as a starter now. The kid's a winner.
Grand Lake a winner last night in overtime, 26-20.
Denham Springs remains undefeated. They get a win over Franklin. It was back and forth, and next week is the test for them. St. Thomas More.
Special teams were huge. I know they blocked at least 2 kicks, and they returned an onside kick late in the game when they were up 28-20 for a touchdown. So special teams were really big. Coach Beer and them teams have played really well. We'll find out next week.
Are they on the road for this, or are they finally back at the facility?
No, they're still away. I think it's week 6 or 7. I think they host Santa Maria for their first home game if everything's on schedule.
Kentwood upsets Walker 20-19. I say it's upset. I would have to.
That's a tough.
Walker was 3-0 going in that. Kentwood was young last year, and Kentwood's a team that historically is really good. When they have a down year, they're going to rebound pretty quick, and so but yeah, for them to go.
Where's it, under the water tower tonight over there?
I'm not sure where that was.
Legendary.
Neville with a big win over North Caddo. North Caddo, yeah. 3-0 coming into that, averaging 40 points, big win. Ostruma Plaquemine. Ostruma was both teams 3-0, but the thing is, both of their opponents' records were 1-8, and it was all Ostruma tonight. I mean, all Plaquemine tonight, 55-0. I think it ended up.
So, let me get his name right. From Mangum, his name is Jalen Williams. All right. On the year, he was 74 rushes, 687 yards, 10 touchdowns. Tonight, 656 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Repeat that.
Rushing?
656 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Did anybody else touch the football tonight?
If they did, the coach is stupid.
Good gosh.
So he might be the leading rusher in the state. Again, that's compliments of.
You think he got the game ball?
Yeah, I tell you.
Tonight's a lot of performances. It's just incredible record-setting night.
Again, I want to mention, I know it's a school we don't really give a lot of attention to, but Slaughter Charter. Patrick Clarkston has those guys 4-0 going to Springfield.
Yeah.
And Springfield was coming off of that really big win over Albany.
Yeah,
This
rivalry.
is the second year in a row that Slaughter went over there to Springfield and beat them. So that's a huge win for those guys.
North Central's won 2 in a row. After losing how many in a row? They've come back and they've won 2 in a row. They beat Ascension Christian tonight.
Hey, we got 8 brackets. We're good. We're set. Look, as we head into break, we're continuing to recognize September as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And our correspondent, Avery Job, who was here with us earlier tonight, has a couple of childhood cancer facts that we've been sharing with you. Here's another one as we head into the break for this Week 4 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show.
It is estimated that there will be 13.7 million cases of childhood cancer between 2020 and 2050, unless there are major improvements in diagnosis and treatments of this. 45% will go undiagnosed, and 11.1 million will die if no further investments and interventions are made.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. And we want to remind you, if you missed anything from earlier tonight, you're going to want to go back and check it out on demand later today or throughout the weekend at 1045ESPN.com. or on the 1045 ESPN mobile app. Really awesome interview with Avery Jobe, with her father, and also great conversation earlier with Coach Sid Edwards on our Student Athlete of the Week. I think it's some of the best, and I'm not crediting myself, just some of the best radio we've done, because I think it's real personal stories that mean a lot.
Gee, thanks. I thought No Peep Stew was pretty personal.
No Peep Stew was pretty good.
I mean.
And one of the greatest quotes to ever air on this show was from Mama Black, who said, "Did anybody ask the kids?"
That's right. When we asked
it still
about
resonates.
When we asked the split, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hey, can you quickly pull up the interview Jimmy had with Jackson? Because I really think I was very impressed with the young man and what he said. And it's something that people can
we can play it if you want.
Yeah.
So, Taylor, can we pull up the interview with Jimmy and our Student Athlete of the Week? I'd like to play that.
That's probably State Farm, which we appreciate those guys as well.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week, Jackson Griffin. I remember that because Jackson and Griffin, our agents back there.
Jackson and the Griffins, that's right.
And while we're talking about it, waiting to get that pulled up, Washita, Brother Martin beat Washita tonight 38-20 up north. Brother Martin, both of those teams have played tough schedules. Washita went through a little bit of issues. They had some players miss some Saturday meetings, and the coach said this week he was going to find out who wanted to be a part of the program and who didn't. And that's about the third coach that I've talked to this week at very successful programs that have dropped the hammer on a few kids. And I think you need to see a little bit more of that to install discipline in your program. If you don't have it, you don't have anything.
You don't have commitment for sure.
That's right.
You got to.
Alexandra moves to 2-2 with a 28-21 win over East Ascension.
So, looking back at that game, heading into the preview I did with Troy, I believe EA's opponents were a combined 6-2, and Ash's opponents were 7-2. Just to show you the kind of competition.
Yeah.
Coach Bachman's never backing away. Coach Lee's not backing away. These are guys that lay it out there each and every week. Let's get to that interview. Our student athlete of the week, student athlete of the week was Jackson Griffin, and Jimmy Roy had a chance to catch up with him at the ball game tonight on the campus of Central High School.
We're out here at Central High School tonight, Central versus East Jefferson, Pediatric Cancer Awareness Week or Month. We're here, our student athlete of the week, Jackson Griffin, who had a serious issue when he was a sophomore. Got cleared by the LHSA yesterday. He's going to make his first appearance tonight for the Central Wildcats. Talk a little bit about what you've been through, Jackson.
It's been through a lot, man. Just like they said, sophomore year I had an injury that I thought was very small, but it turned out to be something way bigger, ended up being cancer, and then just caused me to never eventually technically play game football again, like everybody else would think. But like, don't take little things for granted. Just like enjoy the little things in life because you never know when it could be your last day, like to do anything. Like for any athletes out there, just play every down like it's your last. Because I never thought mine would be the last, and back that month in November. So just do your best thing.
Jackson, we're proud of you, man. You keep working, doing everything you're doing. Coach Sid had nothing but great things to say about you. We're proud to honor you. It's probably the highlight of our year right now. And hey, go have some fun tonight. All right, man.
Great job, Jimmy.
Fine, young man. Come to find out, I went to school with a couple of his aunts that I saw one of them on the sideline. And so I didn't know the connection until I actually saw him out there tonight.
Why do you think that son of a gun won Mr. Central?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
You know,
all roads lead back.
Look, you remember when Coach Sid said he leads the state with black face paint?
Yeah, he's covered. He is well protected from the glare tonight,
Well,
and that what a fantastic moment for
the-
Central High School.
The message he sent, man, I mean, don't take it for granted, and I think so many people do.
with all these fights that they're having, you're talking about not taking things for granted. Players need to understand that it's a privilege to play high school sports.
Not a right.
It's not a right. Steven Spinger told me a long time ago, back when he was coaching at Central, he was not getting into it, but he was talking about athletes were special. And somebody had asked him, why do you think an athlete's more special than a kid who doesn't play sports? And he told him point blank. He said, it's kind of easy to get up at 6 o'clock, whatever, go to school, bell rings at 2:30, you go home, and all you got to do is go do homework. When you're an athlete, you got to get up early. You got to go to school. You got to go to practice. You may have to go work out. You may have to go to film. You have other commitments. You have JV games, ninth grade games, JV games, varsity games. There's just so much more that goes on in the life of an athlete to accomplish some of the things that a regular student does. Not taking away from the regular students, but, you know, he really brought up a good point. It takes somebody special to be an athlete. And I think too many people take it for granted. You never know when your last play is coming. You have no clue. And people, they need to understand, like we said, it is a privilege to play, not a right.
So I just had this conversation with one of the guys I'm working with, and with quarterbacks, and he was getting frustrated, maybe with the work ethic of others. And I said, well, you know what? I said, to be great, you've got to be different, because when everybody goes out and goes to a party, you can't go. You've got to be different. And the great ones are different, and it's because of their work habits and all the other things that come with it. If they were normal like everybody else, they'd be average like everybody else. It's the ones that do things and handle themselves differently, to you and Coach Steve's point, that really makes you great. And that's it's I'll tell you a quick story. Is when I was up at Tech, when Coach Skip Holtz was up there, and on his seniors during camp, he works with them teaches them how to do job interviews. And so they were doing some role playing, and none of the kids mentioned they played football. And I'm sitting there thinking, dude, if you're a walk-on, you get up at 6, you work, you go to football practice, you stay at football practice. I mean, an employer would want to hear that, because that is a strong work ethic.
Some discipline.
And I just don't think they understand sometimes how tough things are. But that's a big credit to those guys.
There's a lot that goes into a day, and I think, look, we talk about it a lot when it comes to high school football. Very few make it to that next level. Even less make it to the next level. So a lot of young men are playing some of their last football this year. And so, don't take it for granted. Take every opportunity you can.
Jimmy, you've never seen a championship team be undisciplined.
Very few. Every now and then, more so in a lower classification, just because you don't have that many players, and you can get away with it a little bit more on that end just with the athletes. But as the teams get more and more kids and you're playing against the higher competition, you're right. If you don't have the discipline, you're going to lose.
Well, let's get you caught up on some scores from around the state. I didn't know how to transition out of that. I just went right into it.
You could have said you're going to lose, like some of the people here on the scoreboard.
We'll find out, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Catholic of Baton Rouge 49, St. Thomas More 28, St. Michael's 62, Broadmoor 0, St. James 33, Assumption 7, St. John of Plaquemine 41, West St. Mary 0, Woodlawn 29, Edie White 26, Central Private shuts out Northeast 35-0, White Castle 38, Livonia 14, and Opelousas 28, Santa Maria 21.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Ruston 35, Lafayette Christian 20, Acadiana 55, Lafayette 6, Carencro shuts out Sulphur 43-0, Westgate 55, St. Martinville 20, Southern Lab 34, Opelousas Catholic 20, Curling's Catholic 38, Notre Dame 14, Iowa 36, Jennings 22, and Lakeshore over Washington Marion 31-8.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Aug Carr will be played tomorrow night. John Curtis 28, Jesuit 10, Destrehan all over Hanville 41-3, De La Salle 27, St. Charles Catholic 14, Terrebonne 22, H.L. Bourgeois 17, Lutcher 42, Vanderbilt Catholic 7, McDonough 35, 29, West Jefferson 0, and Warren Easton 56, Booker T. Washington 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
West Monroe 31-28 winner over Scotlandville. Alexandria 28-21 winner over East Ascension. Logansport 52, Mansfield 8. Glenbrook 56, Haynesville 17. Mangum 60, General Trask 26. Manny 25, Newman 17. Neville 50, North Caddo 24. And Brother Martin over Washita 38-20.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington a 12-7 win over Ponchatoula. Hammond 28, Fontainebleau 21. Mandeville 41-20 win over North Shore. Slidell 21, St. Paul 7. Live Oak 43, St. Helena 8. Laranger a 19-14 winner over St. Thomas Aquinas. Pearl River defeats Independence 46-14. And Archbishop Hannon 21, North Lake Christian 7.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. A reminder, Sunday night at 6, it's Louisiana Prep Weekly. Myself and Coach Eric Held going to be on hand at Walk-Ons in Town Center. We look forward to having everyone tune in or stop by. It's always a pretty busy Sunday over there with football throughout the day. And we get out there about 6 o'clock and do the show. Thanks again to Walk-Ons for providing some food for us tonight. Delicious sliders, boudin balls, chicken, the onion strings. It's always consistent and always great. It's perfect for the game time food you may want for your crew. So, also, a reminder, BSN Sports supplies our team, and they can supply your team as well. They outfit us. They can outfit your team. They can hit you up with the equipment you need by the brand you know and love. Go see Scott and the guys, bsnsports.com.
Talking a little bit about Nola area real quick. Destrehan 41-3 winner over Hanville. Destrehan has now scored their opponents 174-11. Their first two games were fairly easy games, but they've beaten EA and their rival Hanville back-to-back weeks, 42-2 and 41-3. Coach Scott has those guys rolling. St. Charles drops their second consecutive game, lose to De La Salle tonight, 27-14. De La Salle is now 4-0. One of the top running backs in the state, P.J. Martin. He had at least 3 touchdowns tonight. He had 700. He's having 245 going into the game.
We need to get Coach De La Salle, Graham, on. Isn't it Graham?
Yeah, Graham Jarrett. Yep. And John Curtis, big win over Jesuit tonight, 28-10. John Curtis had lost 2 times last year, which you don't see that often. 2 Jesuit, one of them being in the playoffs. So that was a good game. Curtis's only loss was to Zachary week 2.
Hammond, a big winner.
4-0, huh?
4-0. Getting the word. They should have probably they had penalties and some turnovers. Could have won by 4 touchdowns. I'm trying to get, they said the superstar was out. I'm trying to figure out who that may be. His name is Jaheim Johnson, senior, cornerback, wide receiver, 6'1", 175. Boy, needs to put some meat on his bones.
He'll do that. A lot of going on. Key injuries in the state. We've mentioned Eli Holstein, Will Randall. You got to remember Caleb Jackson from Liberty, the running back, LSU commits out. Calvary had a quarterback transfer this year. Kid's playing 50-50. He's a junior. He transferred to Loyola, so he's going to have to sit out for 1 full calendar year. Officials didn't show up last night from St. Ed LaGrange game. That game was canceled. I don't know if they're going to try to make it up tomorrow or not. That's just some miscommunication going on. Wrestling coach over at Bruley, Jimmy Bible, was inducted into the Bruley Hall of Fame tonight.
You slipped that one in.
Yeah, that's right. Got to get
I hear you, man.
Bruley a little publicity every now and then if we can. Carr and Southwood are both. It looks like, I'm sure they're both will appeal it, but looks like Carr's going to have to forfeit their 3 wins. Southwood's going to forfeit theirs.
And that's a shame for Southwood. Carr will be fine. They'll end up, but it wasn't even a player that was really even involved. It was like a third-string player for Carr. That's word coming out of Carr says.
Wow. And Carr St. Aug tomorrow. That's a big game. That's a big game. Carroll over Sterlington tonight. I don't know what's going on with Carrollton. With Sterlington.
Carrollton, that's good.
Yeah. Sterlington is now 1-3, defending state champs, coming off of that win against Neville in the Jamboree, and then just kind of,
Western Road, Oak Grove took him to the woodshed.
Kenner, head coach, was suspended this week.
P.J. Sprunk
has not announced why that has happened, and again, the fight between McKinley and Northside just.
I don't know what's going to take Jimmy for him just to stop.
Ejection in the Slaughter game. It's got to stop.
Thanks to Clint McAllister over in Hammond, giving us some updates. He said Ole Miss and Jackson State are after the player from Hammond.
Okay. He had a really big night against A Meeting week 1. The running back, Coach Dorset Buckles over there.
Yep.
That's a good name. That sounds like a football
good job.
name.
Dorset Buckles.
Yep. Yeah. It was right up there with who was the coach out there in the Lafayette area that had the I don't think he's there this year, but he was 1 year, maybe New Iberia. No, names elude me.
I'm trying to think. Delahousse? It was Delahousse was at St. Martinville.
That's a good
one.
A
long time.
Well, shit, I mean, just because I got a good memory.
That's right. You do that. That's the neighborhood association.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Hey, we're getting ready to decorate this weekend for Halloween, so I'm gonna have to ask some tips from Coach Todd Black, because you guys decorate like nobody's business.
Dude, this is going to be wild this year because
We got
Jackson's having a
inflatables coming
party.
in.
So it's going to be on Saturday because Halloween's on a Monday.
Right.
So the party's going to be on Saturday. So
Well, I'll be looking for my invite.
So this is great, real quick. So Jackson says, hey, the girls want to kind of come over and help decorate. And Ashley's like, okay. And I'm going, that is going to go over like a freaking lead balloon. Those girls are going to be like, I'm out. Because she's going to be bossing them all over the place. Better them
Do
than
they
me,
know
though.
they've been assigned to decoration duty, or that's just
No, they said they wanted to come over and decorate. I said
Fair
they
enough.
ain't gonna want to come over after this. They're gonna be
Might
like,
not show up for the party,
Yeah,
right?
That's right. They're gonna be like, hell
we need
that.
the door painted. We're taking a timeout and
Timeout?
Yeah, long timeout. We'll be back next Friday. That's how long the timeout is. Come for Coach Todd Black, for Jimmy Roy, for Alondra, for Taylor, for Skip, and everyone, and Avery for joining us earlier tonight. We'll see you next Friday night. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.